When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, the world mourned the loss of a monarch who had not only been the longest-reigning British sovereign, but also a living embodiment of the nation's history and tradition. Yet, while the world was united in grief, what unfolded behind the closed doors of Buckingham Palace was far more tumultuous, shaking the royal family to its core. As Prince William carefully opened the Queen's will, the royal household braced itself for revelations that would forever alter the future of the monarchy. The future king, despite carrying a heavy burden of responsibility on his shoulders, had always honored the advice of his late grandmother. Her guidance had been invaluable, especially as William faced the challenges of stepping into her shoes. The Queen's final wishes, however, were not merely about the distribution of wealth or titles. They held a blueprint for the monarchy's legacy. What was contained within those pages would reshape the royal family's dynamics and traditions, laying the foundation for the future of the British monarchy. In 2024, Prince William found himself in an incredibly challenging position. Not only was he dealing with the pressures of leading the royal family after the passing of Queen Elizabeth, but he also had to navigate two shocking cancer diagnoses within his immediate family, one affecting his wife, Catherine, and the other his father, King Charles. These health crises came at a time when the monarchy needed to be strong, unified, and focused. William had to step up, filling the void left by senior royals, all while keeping the monarchy intact. As William worked through the intricacies of the Queen's will, he found himself reflecting deeply on the advice his grandmother had given him. It was advice that now took on even greater significance. The will was not just a list of personal items to be divided. It was a set of instructions that guided the future of the monarchy, offering insight into how the royal family would move forward in an increasingly complex world. The weight of these decisions was monumental, and William felt the full weight of his responsibility as he carefully navigated the path his grandmother had outlined. One of the most shocking revelations from the Queen's will was the fate of certain royal properties. The Queen's wealth, accumulated not only through her royal duties, but also from her personal investments, art collections, and private ventures, was vast. Yet, the allocation of this fortune had been carefully concealed until now. For example, Buckingham Palace, long assumed to pass directly within the royal family, was revealed to be part of the Crown estate, not under the Queen's personal ownership. This decision was a significant departure from centuries-old traditions, and raised critical questions about the future structure of the monarchy. Beyond monetary assets, the Queen's will also contained priceless heirlooms, sentimental treasures, and pieces of royal history, artworks, antiques, and jewelry that held emotional significance far beyond their material value. These items, while incredibly valuable, were not just relics of a bygone era. They represented the deep connection between the monarchy and the British people, a connection that had endured for generations. For Prince William, the reading of the will was a defining moment, not just for the wealth it disclosed, but for the way it reshaped his role as the future monarch. Some members of the royal family received more than they ever anticipated, while others found themselves excluded from significant portions of the inheritance. The symbolism of these choices, coupled with the shifting of power and resources, left Buckingham Palace reeling. The decisions made in the Queen's will did not just divide the estate, they redefined the family's future. It was clear that a new era was dawning within the royal family, one that would be marked by change, adaptation, and perhaps even some difficult conversations about the role of tradition in a modern monarchy. In the weeks before Queen Elizabeth II's death at Balmoral Castle on September 8, 2022, the monarch made the decision to get candid about her thoughts on Meghan Markle. During a drinks reception, the Queen reportedly summed up her granddaughter-in-law in one word that stunned those gathered: evil. For a woman known for her forgiving nature, second only to the late Mother Teresa, it was a shocking comment. Insiders described the atmosphere as tense when the Queen made the remark, and it left the dinner guests and castle staff in stunned silence. It was out of character for the Queen to use such harsh language, especially when describing a family member, but it was clear she had seen through Meghan's actions. The Queen had long been a figure of grace and diplomacy, but her opinion of Meghan Markle had evidently soured in the final years of her reign. According to sources, the Queen was deeply regretful about how the situation with Harry and Meghan had unfolded. She described their marriage as a catastrophe, a sentiment that echoed the concerns many had about the couple's departure from royal life and their controversial decisions since stepping down from their royal duties. The Queen's thoughts, shared privately with a small group before dinner, reflected her frustration and disappointment with the couple's choices. By this point, the Queen's health was in decline, and it was clear she had only months left to live. It was a time of reflection for the monarch, and her words about Meghan were as much about her regret for how things had turned out as they were about the emotional toll the situation had taken on the royal family. As whispers of these revelations spread, the world began to speculate on the future of the monarchy. Queen Elizabeth's final will, more than just a legal document, had become a defining moment in the royal family's history. It not only divided her estate, but also challenged long-held traditions and bridged the past with the future. The monarchy's stability, its ability to adapt to modern pressures, now rested on the choices laid out in those pivotal documents. Prince William, carrying the burden of these revelations, found himself at the heart of a monarchy on the brink of transformation. The weight of his grandmother's legacy, combined with the pressure of ensuring the monarchy's survival in an ever-changing world, was a monumental challenge. Few could understand the strain William was under, balancing his royal duties with his personal life. The prince had to contend with a wife who was seriously ill, 3 young children who needed support and comfort, and the constant pressure of living up to the legacy of both his grandmother and his father. As William took on these responsibilities, many commented on the maturity, common sense, and empathy he displayed in handling his role. The late Queen's advice to be seen to be believed was a mantra William had taken to heart. Despite the personal challenges he faced, he continued to attend official engagements and fulfill his duties as best as he could. His efforts did not go unnoticed, and many recognized the immense weight of the task he had taken on. The royal family's future, as outlined in the Queen's final will, was a delicate balance between honoring tradition and adapting to the realities of modern life. The decisions made in the wake of the Queen's passing were not just about distributing wealth or titles. They were about ensuring the monarchy's survival in an increasingly complex world. The revelations contained in the Queen's will have set the stage for a new chapter in the royal family's history, one that will be defined by the choices made by Prince William and his family. As the monarchy faces these unprecedented challenges, it remains to be seen how it will adapt to the pressures of modern life while preserving the legacy of the past. For now, the world watches closely as Prince William steps into the role of future monarch, carrying the weight of both history and the future on his shoulders.